Hey, it's Austin James. Yes, I'm living with diabetes, but it doesn't have to define me. Thanks to the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, I get real-time glucose readings throughout the day. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is small and easy to wear, giving me the freedom to focus on my life as a parent and a musician. Now this is progress. You can get a free sensor at freestylelibre.us.
Offer available for people who qualify. Visit myfreestyle.us to see all terms and conditions. Certain exclusions apply. Data on file. Abbott Diabetes Care. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the generative AI assistant that can securely understand your business data, summarize results, and streamline tasks. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit amazon.com/prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC and your daily reminder that the Reds are top of the league. Also, of course, top of the Champions League and now League Cup semi-finalists. Last night, Southampton 1, Liverpool 2 at St. Mary's. The Reds lining up with a very interesting team. So, Arna goes with Queevy in goal, which we expected. Trent started at right back and captained the team. Joe Gomez started at left back. Kwanzaa and Wataru Endo named as centre-backs. Alexis, Tyler Morton and Trainiani as the midfield. And then Harvey Elliott, Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo as our attackers. Now, Wataru Endo was named as a centre-back, but he didn't necessarily play as a centre-back. And even though we do ostensibly play a 4-2-3-1 that, shapeshifts into a 4-3-3 at times, last night was different. Last night it was almost a 3-diamond-3, with Endo shifting between centre-back and holding midfield. Very, very similar to what Ryan Gravenberch did at the weekend when we went down to 10 men. And Endo excelled last night. He was named man of the match. Now, he did have one notable error, which we'll talk about, but for a fellow who has barely played this season, to step into a role like that, a kind of weird hybrid role, and play as well as he did, I think is very, very impressive. And I think it speaks volumes of his professionalism, of how he takes care of himself, and of his mindset. Because oftentimes when players aren't playing regularly, and it becomes a talking point that the manager doesn't trust them, isn't fully invested in them. When players are then called upon, they'll often phone it in, but not this fella. This fella looked like he'd been playing week in, week out. Just stepped in and it was all absolutely fine for him. I was impressed with Tyler Morton. I thought he had a solid game. Alexis looked good. First game back after this 2-match suspension, or 2-match suspensions. Trainiani, I thought, did pretty well. Harvey didn't play great on the right, but when he came a bit central, he started to really get involved in the game. Darwin scored and otherwise wasn't good, and Cody was decent. We go 1-up on 24 minutes. They have an attack. The ball is overplayed. Weaving underhits a pass to Trent, puts him in a bit of trouble. Trent works his way out of it really well and plays a left-footed pass, which takes a significant deflection off a Southampton player trying to intercept it, loops up in the air, and credit to Darwin, like, this is impressive. It's a good first touch and a very confident finish. And I like that he shushed the crowd as well afterwards. That was about all that there was from Darwin that we could really be positive about, I'm afraid. Harvey made it 2 on 32 minutes. Nice 1-2 between Cody and Endo, who, again, was now playing as more of an attacking midfielder in his free role. Pops it back into Cody's path. Cody plays it to Harvey. Harvey takes a touch, then takes a right-footed shot, which does take a deflection. Now, it definitely changed the direction of the ball. Whether Alex McCarthy would have saved it, we'll never know. But it's Harvey's goal, and it's the first goal of the season, and Harvey should be very happy with that. At half-time, Arna decided to have some fun. So Federico Chiesa came on for Trent. And in big news, Kostas Tsimikas came on for Joe Gomez. So Kostas is back, which is huge, especially given the form of Andy Robertson. But getting Chiesa back and Kostas back, they're sizable boosts for us. Now, they would score on 59. When we made the changes, Trainiani dropped into the double pivot with Alexis. Harvey went as the 10. Chiesa went right wing. And Tyler Morton went to right back. Now, I've seen a lot of people criticize João Quansah for this Southampton goal. Quansah's not to blame here. There are 3 players involved, and Quansah's the one who's not to blame. Endo gives the ball away cheaply in the middle of the park. The ball was played long to Cameron Archer. Quansah's positioning is really good, and he's showing him outside. Tyler Morton is sprinting back. Morton gets far too close to Quansah and opens up for Archer to come inside on his right foot. Morton should have held back a little bit to stop that, to stop Archer coming in on his right foot, because Quansah's trying to force him down the line on his left. Archer cuts in. It's a really good finish. Nothing away from Cameron Archer. Really good finish. But Tyler Morton, who, let's be clear, is not a right back. So you can't hammer him on this. And Endo gives the ball away high up the pitch. So again, you're not going to hammer him on it. It's just 2 small errors. One that we should have dealt with because it's way up the pitch. And one from a player out of position. I will say, though, Morton looked quicker sprinting back than I thought he could be. So, that's promising as well. Anyway, 2-1. And Arna decides to make some more changes. So he takes off Cody Gakpo and brings on Diogo Jota. Then he takes off Alexis McAllister and brings on James McConnell. So now we've got McConnell, Niani, and Harvey in midfield. We've got Chiesa, Darwin, and Jota as a front 3. And we're absolutely open. Like, we're either going to score again or they're going to score twice. It seems to be how this game is going. Kelleher makes a great save. Quansah makes an unbelievable block. And then Quansah gets a little bit lucky. There's a long ball over the top. He doesn't read it well. He doesn't take a good path to the ball. And Matthias Fernandes gets in front of him. And Kwanzaa puts his arm over his shoulder and kind of levers him back a little bit. It's definitely outside the box, so it's not a penalty. But it is a foul. And it's probably a red card. Now, the red card might be subjective because we don't know if Matthias Fernandes would have gotten to the ball given Kelleher's coming out to claim it. But Kwanzaa gets very, very lucky here. However, I'm not having any crying from Arsenal fans about this because you got given a goal last night that was very clearly offside, which ultimately won you your game. So, hush. Hush. And also I'm not having crying from anyone else because Simon Hooper, Mr. Good Process Boys, owes us from Spurs last year. So we'll take that, thanks very much, away to fuck. Then Arna decided to go even more mad scientist. So, as I said, we had Trainiani and James McConnell and Harvey Elliott as his midfield three. He then takes off Trainiani, 86 good minutes under his belt. And he brings on Jayden Danns, like not a Marinello, to give us a little bit more solidity at the back and maybe then we can push Morton back into midfield. No. We've got two strikers on. We're going to throw a third striker on. On comes Jayden Danns. It is absolute mad stuff. We end the game with two actual defenders, Kwanzaa and Costas. Three actual midfielders in Endo, Morton, and McConnell. And then five attackers. Harvey, Chiesa, and the three strikers, Jota, Darwin, and Danns. I don't know if Arna was trying to lose last night, but he certainly indicated that he probably didn't really care either way. Ultimately, we go on and win the game 2-1. It was fun. I thought we got some good performances out of some of the starters. We got more minutes for Jota. We get Costas back. Minutes for McConnell and Danns, who've been injured quite a bit this season. And minutes for Chiesa. Now, the Chiesa discourse online after the game, I found very weird. I was quite enthused by his performance, if I'm being honest. Now, not everything was good. The first 15 minutes, he looked like he was struggling a little bit with the pace of the game. That's not surprising. He played like 80 minutes since the end of May. He's just back after, 2 months out? More than that? He's been out for an age. So, I wasn't surprised it took him a little bit of time to get up to the speed of the game. But I thought when he did, he started to look promising. He had the one lovely little nutmeg on the touchline. Then he had his first shot, which is good work by Jota. Now, I don't think he's trying to shoot there. I actually think he's trying to play in Harvey. I think he's putting it in that kind of the corridor of uncertainty for Harvey to get on the end of, or maybe the defender knocks it into his own net. I don't think he's necessarily trying to shoot there. The second one, he does really well. Jota plays it to him again. He cuts in his left foot, creates the space for himself, and his left-footed shot is going in. It's beaten the keeper. It's past Alex McCarthy. The defender makes I think it's Howard Bellis, makes a really good interception to take it off the line. He follows it up, though, and hits an absolute rasper on his left foot that Neron knocked, was it Sugawara? Neron knocked him out. So, all of that was quite positive. And again, it's his first game back in months. When was the last time he played? Federico Chiesa. Let's see. we've seen 80-odd minutes of him this season. So for him to get 45 plus the stoppage time of 7, so 52 minutes here, it's pretty impressive. He's been out since September 30th. September 30th. So all of October, all of November, and half of this month. Now, I know he's been on the bench for the last game, but didn't play, so it doesn't count. He missed 14 games, 15 really, including the last one. So, very, very happy for him to get that kind of minute load into his legs, to have an involvement, to make some positive contributions. Also factor in, the weather was minging. Absolutely rancid stuff. Piss and rain, high winds. They don't have that in Italy. He was looking around thinking, why are we playing here in a shower? Very strange for him. But yeah, I was enthused by what I saw. I was enthusiastic about the whole thing as it was ongoing. Because, as I said yesterday, I didn't care if we won or lost. I just wanted to see some of these lads get minutes. And Tyler Morton got 97. Endo got the same. Nioni got 86. We got to see a bit of Jaden Dans. We got to see McConnell. We got Costas back. Chiesa got good minutes in his legs. We got more minutes for Diogo Jota. Darwin scored a goal. The performance wasn't good, but Darwin scored a goal. Harvey scored a goal. These are all positive things. There's not Alexis got back in groove. There's no negative to be taken from last night at all. And yet, if you went on social media last night, you'd have thought the sky was caving in. From the cry arson about Trent and Joe starting, they played 45 minutes. They played 45 minutes at a jog. Be grand, lads. What about Arsenal? Had to launch on Saliba and Odegaard and Saka and play at a fairly hectic tempo to try and beat Crystal Palace. Which one do you think is going to take more of the legs? The only slight disappointment, I suppose, is we didn't get to see Rio. Rio Gamoa was on the bench last night for the first time. Great to see. Would have been cool. I think if we were maybe a bit further ahead, he might have gotten on if the game was put to bed. But great experience for the kid. Great experience for Marinallo there as well. But one thing last night did bring up. Now, as you know, folks, I'm a very even-keeled individual. Wouldn't be one to lose my temper at all. But certain things piss me off. You know what really pisses me off? Is squad numbers like 98. Nothing against Trainiani. I think he's an incredible talent. Nothing against James Norris. Nothing against Rio. Nothing against the Marinallo. Nothing against Jaden Dans. We don't need to be having squad numbers in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. We just don't. There's absolutely no need for it. Like, if you look at our squad list right now, right, senior squad, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, no 12 or 13, 14, no 15, no 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. No 22, no 23, no 24, no 25, 26. Then we've got nothing between 26 and 38. Actually, I tell one lie. Calvin Ramsey is number 22. He's out on loan, but he's number 22. There's still no 23, 24, 25. We don't need to be having then a gap after Ryan Gravenberch at 38 to Vitoslav Jaros with 56. Now, admittedly, Besetic is 43, Pitaluga is 45, Reece Williams is 46, and Nat Phillips is 47.
Chronic migraine is 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for adults with migraine with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It prevents, on average, 8 to 9 headache days a month versus 6 to 7 for placebo.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Ask your doctor and visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now because game day is so close you can almost taste it. Football watching. Better with Pepsi.
Reece Williams and Nat Phillips have no long-term future at the club. They don't need to be assigned squad numbers. Pitaloog is a child. He doesn't need a squad number. But even if they have them, there's still no 39, 40, 41, 42, 44, 48, 49. Number 50 is Ben Doak. Again, doesn't need to be number 50. Could be 23. Don't need Queeving to be 62. We've never needed Trent to be 66. I'm willing to accept Trent keeping 66 because he's had it for so long, but he should never have been given 66 to begin with. Kwanzaa shouldn't have 78 when there's no 67, 68, 69, etc., etc. There's no 79, so why does Morton have to be 80? There's no 81, 82, or 83, so why is Connor Bradley 84? There's nobody 86, 87, etc. So why is Harvey Davies 95? Stop this. Stop this. Give these players proper squad numbers, starting from 1 and going as high as you need to, but you do not need to get to, other than Trent, nobody should be above 50. Nobody. Nobody needs to be. We don't have that many players eligible for the first team. Even when you factor in lads out on loan and lads who have to be given a squad number for UEFA's nonsense, we don't need to have this many. Nobody should be wearing 98. And there is no link to 98 for that kid. Like, his parents weren't born in 98. He wasn't born in 98. There's no reason for it. Stop with the stupid squad numbers, because it pisses me off. And also, while I'm on the topic of things that piss me off, Liverpool Football Club, we have asked you nicely to stop listing the team in numerical fucking order. Stop it. Stop doing it. Because it's ridiculous. It is grounds for relegation. You should be investigated. You should be put under restraining orders. You should potentially be put into administration or liquidation if you engage in listing the team numerically, because it's a fucking nonsense. And it immediately goes to shit for us because we go number 1, Ali, right back, number 66. So he's going to be at the bottom. So as you list the team, your right back is already playing left wing. Stop it. Stop it immediately. I know where you live. You're on Google. I know where you live. I'll send people round. We will stop the terrorism of the Liverpool Football Club social media folks listing the team numerically. We will stop this. We will make Liverpool great again. Just like we're going to make Trev Downey sound again. Good news, Trev's internet cable has now been repaired. Well, seemingly they've shut his internet off. I assume it's because he said mean things about them online. But he still doesn't have internet in his gaff. And as you can imagine, he's not a happy boy. He's not a happy boy at all. What else do we have to go over? We'll have a new staff member that you may not have heard of. Roderick van der Ham is the new first-team tactical analyst. He joins from Feyenoord, where he worked with Arne. Now, he has joined in recent weeks. The Dutch outlet 1908.nl were the first ones to reveal that he would be coming over. He's 33 years of age and worked for Feyenoord for 2 years with Arne Slot. So tremendous, absolutely tremendous that Arne's getting more of the people that he wants around him. And if Arne's bringing this guy in, then we should have full faith in the fact that this guy is good at what he does. So he'll join an analytics department of Jansen Moreno, who is the opposition analyst, Daniel Spirit, who does post-match and elite player development, James French, who is another opposition analyst, and Joel Bonner, who is the post-match analyst. There are others as well, but this is the core group for now. Anything else? Lots of praise for Endo, and rightly so. Played really well. Played really, really well. And look, the only thing I would say after last night is, will you just shut the fuck up about Jarrell Quansah and leave the lad alone? His confidence level is already low. He doesn't need dickheads on the internet saying Quansah's not good enough for us, when they're the same people who last summer were saying, what were Newcastle thinking, saying we'd sell Quansah? Like, Quansah's our starter over Konate. These are the same people who 5 months ago had Jarrell Quansah as the starter over Ibu Konate. And now they've gone from that to he's not good enough for us. Talk about fickle. That pisses me off as well. That really does piss me off as well. But it's typical, not just of Liverpool fans, because all clubs do this. But it's absolutely typical where a player comes in, has a good run of form. Liverpool fans, and I'm only using Liverpool fans because we're talking about Liverpool alone, overhype the player to the absolute fucking moon. And when that player doesn't live up to the expectations you have set for them, not anybody else, you've set these expectations, then they're not good enough. And yet, you were more than happy to sit on your hands and say nothing for years when we had shit players. You said nothing about them. But this kid is getting battered online by a gaggle of pricks. Just shut up. The lad's having a tough time with form and confidence. He made one mistake last night. He got caught wrong side by Fernandes. Other than that, he played pretty well. He played pretty well. And he made a goal-saving block. And Fernandes didn't score. Nothing came of it. He's getting blamed for Trent being lazy against Fulham. He got hammered after the Newcastle game when Joe Gomez was much worse than him. But it's absolutely typical of all fan bases where a player has a good couple of months and all of a sudden they're the best thing in the world. And when they then can't live up to that expectation, then they're not good enough. The maddest thing about it is that those expectations, when they're being set because the player's playing pretty well, all of the flaws in their game are overlooked. Last season, when I pointed out that Jarrell Quansah lacked pace, I was told I was wrong. Now it's the foundational case for the argument that he's not good enough to play for us. Last season, when he had a couple of shaky games, it was overlooked because for the most part, he played well. The same thing with Bradley. The negative hasn't come on Bradley yet, but it will at some point. He had a couple of really poor games for us last year. They were completely overlooked because for the most part, he was good to very good. So the poor games and the defensive flaws got overlooked. But when he has a couple of bad games this year and he's not playing as regularly, those flaws will be the things people point at. It'll be the same thing with Gravenberch. The bad performances this year have just been ignored. Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Forest, Newcastle, wasn't great against Real. Those get overlooked because for the most part, he's been good to very good. But that's what he's been, good to very good. Not incredible, not sensational, not outstanding. The hyperbole runs riot. And we're being told Ryan Gravenberch is the best midfielder in Europe this year. He's the best defensive midfielder in the world. All this kind of nonsense. There's no truth to any of it. He's playing good to very good most weeks, but he has had poor games. Well, the poor games get ignored. The good stuff gets massively over-amplified. And unrealistic expectations are going to get set for this lad. So I've seen people say that by next season, he's going to be the best midfielder in the world. Now, he's not going to get anywhere close to that by next season. Let's be clear on that. But when he has a bad run of form, he is going to get hammered to an unfair degree, not because of anything other than the fact that he's failing to live up to the expectations that these people have set for him, which are unrealistic to begin with. It's what we're seeing with Quansah. We've seen it in the past. We've seen it with Curtis Jones. We still see it from time to time with Curtis Jones. We've seen it with Harvey Elliott. They get blown up to the moon when they don't live up to that expectation, when they're not all Messi or Lothar Matthäus or Virgil van Dijk or whoever the fuck. When they fail to hit these unrealistic expectations, you get this absolute deluge of sewage that comes out, such as they're just not good enough. Jarrell Quansah is absolutely good enough to play for us. Is he good enough to start every week? No, not at this point. Might he be? Yes, he might be. Will he be? We don't know. Same thing goes for Conor Bradley. Same thing goes for Harvey Elliott. Same thing goes for Ryan Gravenberch. Same thing goes for most players. Because the standard that's required at this club is very high. However, the standard that's required for some of these oddballs is even higher. There's maybe 7 players ever that could satisfy their demands of a backup right back. But they want that backup right back to be Trent, Zanetti, Cafu, Carlos Alberto, Dani Alves, Lilian Thuram, and Danny Carvajal. I don't know. They want that player to be a backup right back for us, or a backup centre back. Their idea of a backup centre back for Liverpool is Baresi, Nesta, Cannavaro, Van Dijk, Sciria. This is who they want to be their backup centre back. At 21, 22. Fucking madness. Right, I've ranted and raved enough. AnfieldIndex.com. Liverpool are interested in Raul Moro, according to a report. Liverpool, City, and Spurs interested in Raul Moro. He's a very, very interesting player. Plays for Real Valladolid. He's a winger, 22 years of age. Formerly of Lazio. I think he was in the Barcelona academy briefly. Having a good season with Valladolid. Had a good season with them last year as well. Yeah. Could be interesting. I think he's a little bit small. I think he's 5'7", maybe 5'6". I would have some concerns about him physically in the Premier League. But he's really good. He's an interesting player for sure. Arne Slot has heaped praise on Wataru Endo. Liverpool star wants Barcelona transfer. That is Luis Diaz. No issue at all with seeing Luis Diaz go to Barcelona at the end of the season. I think that's absolutely the right move. Sell him on and put that money into buying Kvicha Kvaratskhelia and have the best possible left winger. Allegedly, we've made an improved contract offer to Trent. So we'll see where that goes. And then podcast-wise, there is a post-match Raw, which is Guy Drinkle and Karl Matchett. There is Arne Slot's post-match press conference. There is the Gags Tandon show, if you want to give that a look. It is Gags and Jack McIndoe. There's the David Lynch podcast, and there is a Media Matters, Dave Davis and David Lynch, discussing the Carabao Cup win and kind of a big win for the academy with some of these younger players getting their opportunities, and a chat about January. I know Dave and Trev were hoping to do a transfer show this week. That will entirely depend on Trev's schedule if he gets his internet back, because he's also due to do Molby on the spot, and he owes us a Molby on the spot because he didn't do it last week. It's been 13 days or something of no internet for Trev, so we'll give him a pass on it. But we're owed a Molby on the spot before a transfer show. There is going to be a transfer show tonight, though. There is going to be the transfer committee podcast, so that will be, I think, live on Discord at 7:30. We're hoping to get it done in about an hour and a half, but these things normally take about 2 hours. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, that is being recorded tonight. So if you are a Anfield Index Pro subscriber with access to our Discord, you'll be able to listen in live there. And that is it. That's me for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. And now I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free and each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Experience holiday cheer at Tanger Outlets with savings up to 70% off your favorite brands. From fragrances to accessories and the latest styles, discover the best gifts for everyone on your list. Save big at Nike Factory Store, Michael Kors, Under Armour, Coach, Polo Ralph Lauren, Kate Spade New York, and so many more. Unwrap the best at Tanger Outlets. Hundreds of brands, endless gifting options. Plan your trip at Tanger.com.